everybody, it's your girl Nell, and I am back in the tiny studio. I had to make sure I am looking towards the camera. I'm in the tiny studio today, and this is part 2 of me doing a little dreadlock hair and maintenance on my hair. So in my previous video, I had completed my first washing. Okay, and I mentioned that I wash my hair three times, because there are 3 reasons why I wash my hair 3 times. First of all, my hair is very thick, very, very thick, and I want to make sure that I penetrate down to the scalp. That's the reason why I wash 3 times. One of the reasons. Reason number 2 is I am a semi-freeform dreadlock diva, Locknista queen, which means I have maybe about 3 to 4 inches of new growth. And I believe in a previous video, I mentioned that the last time I separated my locks was in perhaps October. So because of this, there's a lot of new growth and there's a lot of stuff going on, and I need to get to all of it. The third reason why I wash my locks 3 times is because of the length. Now, I usually wash my locks in the shower, and that's where I take care of all of those things. But I have learned that as my hair begins to progress in length and it gets longer, the shower might not be the best way for me to really deeply cleanse my hair. So I do it in the sink in my guest bathroom. So I go ahead and I do a thorough washing. Very, very thorough. And I wash it until the water turns clear. And after 3 washings for me, the water is clear. Now I thought I brought it in here. I use Dr. Bronner's Pure Castle Peppermint Soap. I think I showed this before. This is what I use to wash my locks. And actually, I use it to take care of regular hygiene. Regular hygiene maintenance is always this stuff, because it really works better than regular soap. It works better than shampoos, and at the end of your washing, your hair feels clean and it's also tingling. And that's another byproduct for me that I really know that I've done a complete thorough job, is that by the end of washing number 3, not only are my eyes burning, because I'm sure they look kind of red or something going on right here because of the burning from the peppermint oil, but the tingling lets me know that I have really deep cleansed my hair. I don't do an apple cider rinse, apple cider cleanse or anything like that, because for me, Dr. Bronner's does this job. And that's because I don't use any products in my hair. I don't use any regular shampoos. I don't use conditioners. I don't use over-the-counter sprays and spritzes and dreadlock leave-in stuff for for itching. I don't do any of those things. So by the time I finish with wash number 3, I'm good. You know, I'm really good. And usually if my hair was shorter, my locks were shorter, I will only wash my locks maybe 1.5 times or maybe 2 times. But as they get longer, 3 is what really does it for my locks. That's what I do. Now, this is a video that happens at the end of the 3rd washing. So I've just finished washing my hair. My eyes, was really burning before I put the camera on. So now I'm going to do a hot oil treatment. Now, if you're a sister, you know what a hot oil treatment is. They usually come in these. You can get a box of it. I used to use Posner's hot oil treatment. It comes in a little tube, and you heat it up and you put it in your hair, right? Well, for me, a hot oil treatment is using something else. And what I use is I use olive oil. That's not true. And it's so funny because I have olive oil on my mind because I need to hit Sam's Club or BJ's and go and grab up a bottle of olive oil. But I usually do, when I have it on hand, I use olive oil. And I try to keep, I keep all of my oils separate. I have oils that I use for cooking, then I have oils I use for hair maintenance, lock maintenance, and things of that nature. So I have olive oil on hand in the pantry, but I don't have some olive oil on hand here in the tiny studio. But I did use some hemp oil, and I have some almond oil, not almond oil. Good grief. That's an oil that I was planning to use, but then I realized that I do not have enough of it. So what I did was I used some hemp oil and some vitamin E oil. And I think I've showed you this before. And with just a touch of lavender. So I put it in this container. And you can see the green of the hemp oil in here. And I heated it up for, I think it was for about 40 seconds. So now I'm going to add it to my locks. So let's take these bad boys down. When I tell you my eyes was burning, my eyes was burning. And I had them shut really tight. But it's just something about that peppermint oil that, ooh. Okay, so here are my locks, freshly washed, tingling, and all those great things. Let me see if you can see what's going on. Let me let you see what's going on with them. It feels so good and it smells so good. So this is my hair when it's washed. And what happens is, as we all know as African Americans, that we experience, tremendous shrinkage after our locks dry. And so my locks are, of course, they're heavy. They're longer because they're wet. And my head feels really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some of my hot oil treatment. Now, I used to have a bottle that I would just go ahead and put it on my scalp. But now I'm going to just use the container that I have. I'm wearing my husband's wedding ring because, with the chemo and everything, it's causing him to lose a lot of weight. So that's why I've been wearing his ring. I'm on a weight loss journey my own self. And you probably may have noticed that I'm not wearing my wedding ring. I'm wearing his. But for some reason, I'm not wearing mine. And that's because I have lost weight. And since I've lost weight, my rings, let me tell you, I was at a religious function. Well, my son gave a Bible lecture at our local Kingdom Hall, and so the entire family went to see him deliver it. And I was sitting down, and I just happened to look at my hand, and I noticed that one of my wedding rings has slipped off my finger. Oh Lord. And I was looking, and then all of a sudden, a really nice gentleman handed the ring back to my husband, and my husband gave it to me. And it was at that moment I knew that I had to put my rings away. So after I finish this journey, I will be getting my rings resized. And what my husband said he wants to do is we'll be coming up on our 35th year anniversary, 35 years of marriage, and he wants to buy he wants to upgrade me again. And see, what's so funny about him is that he does upgrades in increments of maybe 10 years or so. So I believe the last upgrade was the 25th anniversary, our 25th anniversary. He did an upgrade on my rings, and that's when I got I received an eternity band, an anniversary eternity band. That was the third ring that you saw. I think it was like wedding, eternity band on top, something like that. And that was nice. So he wants to do an upgrade for this year, and he doesn't have to do that, you know, because I feel like we're good. I feel like we're good. We're fine. We don't need to do anything like that to show that we, you know, he doesn't have to do anything like that for me to show me that he loves me. But this is something that he wants to do, so I'll allow it. So anyhow, my oil, as I said, my hot oil treatment is it's not, it's hot, but it's not killing me. So I'm making sure I get into my scalp. And I'm going to pull my hair up a little bit so maybe you'll get a chance to see what's going on as well. So let's do that. I hope you can see it. I'm pouring a little oil to my hand. I'm trying to get all in here. After I leave the hot oil treatment on for maybe about 20 minutes to a half an hour, then I'll begin the process of separating my locks. And just basically pulling them apart. As you can see, like this lock right here, just pulling it apart. And I would prefer pulling them apart after I wash them because it's easier, and you don't have a lot or too much breakage for me. But the hot oil treatment is something that I do with each washing, and it was something that I did a lot of when, you know, I didn't have locks or anything. And that's just to make sure that my locks have the nutrients that it needs, besides me ingesting water and fruits and vegetables and multivitamins, especially as a woman of a young, mature age. I do those things, but I also like the way my locks feel when I give it a hot oil treatment. And on top of the peppermint oil soap, it feels really, really good. It's just, you know, I'll let you see me going through it. And it's only so much. I'm trying to get all over because, you know, I haven't really separated my locks. So after I separate my locks and I braid them, then I'll use my spray to get to the scalp really good. But I love hemp oil, but you can use any oils that you would like for as a hot oil treatment. You can use castor oil, black seed oil, walnut oil. I've used a lot of the nut oils as hot oil treatments. When I was ill and I was experiencing a lot of breakage in my locks, I used hemp oil, coconut oil, and jojoba oil, and that really helped me. They helped to you know, stimulate growth for me. And as I say with anything, any type of advice, use that advice with a grain of salt. If it applies to you, use it. If it doesn't, let it fly. And I say that because some people are allergic to coconut oil. Some people are allergic to nut oils. Just like there are people who have peanut allergies or nut allergies. If you have a nut allergy, then of course using a oil that comes from a nut, that may not be your jam. That may not be for you. So you have to use critical thinking skills when you listen to advice over the internet. Okay. So I've learned that. And we all should, possibly remember that. And that's with anything. That's with anything that you hear over the internet. Even though you like this person, you may feel that they are a reliable source on some things. You have to use your own critical thinking skills before you decide to implement whatever it is that they say to you as a word of advice. And then you also have to do your own research, because we're all unique individuals, unique human beings, and we have to if it's going to work for you, then it'll work for you. We're all, like I said, we're all unique. And I hear a lot of people say, well, I can't use this oil because I'm allergic to it. It makes me itch, things of that nature. And so, don't use it. Substitute something else that's going to, produce the same results. That's the beauty of the universe. That's the beauty of nature itself, is that you don't have to use the same thing that someone else uses, right? So right now my hair is feeling really very soft, silky, and clean, because it's tingling, which for me is a great sign. And then the hot oil is, it's not very hot. It's not burning my scalp, of course not. But it's doing the things that I needed to do. So, as you can see, things are looking magnificent for me. I finally washed my hair. Yes, 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 yes. So the next time you see me, I will have braided my locks, and they will be air drying, and I probably would have been out and about on these Tampa Road streets doing what I do. And the next time we talk, maybe a coffee and conversation hour, we can talk about my lock process, or any of the lock maintenance process, or any questions or comments that you may have regarding maintaining your locks. As you see, my locks are long, and that's why, like I said, I used to wash my hair in the shower, but that led to me having all kinds of, I was in a really bad car accident about 7 years ago now, I think. Perhaps about 7 years ago now. And it was a very bad accident, and my back was injured. And so, I wasn't able to stand up well in the shower anymore to wash my hair, and I would just sit, and I had a seating area in my shower, and so I would sit down and work on my hair. And then because of the length, because my hair was down to my butt and beyond, it was really difficult doing that. And I'm still up in the air as to whether or not I'm going to allow my locks to become that long again. But and it will. And it will, but I'm thinking about maybe trimming it a little bit before it gets to that point where it becomes a time. Or maybe I've been teaching my son how to wash my locks as well. So if I'll be getting him ready he'll be on standby when my locks become a certain length, and I need to have additional assistance, because I have pins in my back, and I'm doing fine now, but I just don't want to disrupt whatever else I have going on, because from time to time I do feel, issues happening with my back, and I just get off my feet and whatever, because whatever what's getting ready to happen next is that I'm probably going to have some other disc in my back taken care of. But before I even get to that point, I want to be able to manage as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? Because even though hospitals are really great sometimes, for that vacation, but for me, I'm traumatized. I'm traumatized because of so many things that has happened to me, in the past, these past 7 or 8 years of being Nell. I've had some experiences, and they were not the greatest of experiences because of illness and whatnot, but I'm doing fine. But I just, I don't want to be back in that situation, where I'm in so much pain that I have turned into like the meanest of meanest women ever. I don't like that side of me when I'm in pain, and I don't want to inflict that type of, I don't want to visit that negativity upon someone else. So that's why I try to do what I do at home and just remember what my limitations are, right? Remembering what my limitations are and being cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Just being cool with it. So I still have a little bit more oil left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up the container, and I'm going to give it to my daughter, and she's going to wash her hair this weekend as well, and then she can give herself a hot oil treatment. All right then, so that is it for me right now here in the tiny studio. And I know it's kind of I know when I watch a lot of other dreadlock videos, when people are washing their hair and whatnot, you see them in the shower, they may have on their, a swimsuit or something like that, and they be washing their hair and showing you what to do and whatnot. But, I didn't want to do that because I feel like for me, it's inappropriate and it's disrespectful to my husband. So I don't want to do anything like that. And that's why I didn't share that part of, I didn't feel it necessary to do that, to show you what I'm doing and wash my hair and all that stuff. And, I still have on my house, house gown apparel. So that wouldn't have been a cool thing to do. I mean, it's enough that you'll see this and my husband will see me, see this video and see me in my house, my house pajamas. And he'll probably be like, what in the world is going on now? But I'm covered up. So that's the main idea. And, it's all about respecting yourself, and, just being able to take care of business, and of course, knowing what your limitations are. All right then, so I am out of here. Everything is looking good. I like that oil. That oil is really nice, and it smells good too. I added a drop of lavender. Just a drop of lavender oil. Just a drop. And of course, that's my scalp is feeling really good. It's feeling really good. And that's my maintenance for healthy locks, and what I do every 4 to 6 months or seasonally. So I will see you next time here in the Tiny Studio. As I said, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to drop down in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are, how you're feeling, and what's going on with you and your lock care maintenance. And if you have anything you would like for me to discuss as far as lock maintenance, let me know as well. And perhaps I'll do a video about it or talk about it in our Coffee and Conversations Tiny Studio Chronicles episode, where we get to talk about whatever's going on here in the Tiny Studio, whatever's going on with me and what could possibly be going on with you. So just let me know. All right. Thank you. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe right now to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. And don't forget to like this video, because that, that helps the algorithm of YouTube, so that if a person is looking for advice on or looking for dreadlock advice, whether or not they be a lock needs to queen or a beautiful lock king, then this video will show up in their feed. So thank you for pushing those like buttons. All right, so I'm going to let you go. It's been 25 minutes. Well, 25 minutes have lapsed and my hair is wet. So what I need to do, my clothing is wet. So what I need to do is I need to begin the process of pulling my locks apart, pulling my dreads apart, and then I need to braid them up. And first I need to get out of these wet clothes. That's what I need to do, and then begin the process, continue the process of what I do after I wash my locks. I think there's a video here. Check the dreadlock videos that I have. Check those. Check out that whole selection or collection of videos, because I believe that I am separating and braiding my dreads after a wash in one of those videos. So you just have to check it out and see. And maybe if I can remember, I will link that down in the description box of this video. If I do not, and there's a great chance that I won't. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I am a young, mature African-American woman, so I may forget. But in the off chance that I do not put the link to that particular video where I am separating my locks, just go into that collection and you'll find it. And you'll see me separating my locks after a wash. All right then, so I am out of here. I'm your girl Nell, and I will see you soon here in a tiny studio. Bye-bye.